All right, it is Chad Horn from Ink Tank here with Michael Beck at Ink Tank. Woo! We are standing with a very special gentleman we met here at Murtec this year, Andrew Kirkwood of Shelby's. He was the VP of development, but he's so good at what he does, he's now kind of doing technology operations as well. And I can tell you this very confidently, if you were to stack up 100 random people in this room and rank them by innovation and innovativeness, this guy is spot number 1 or 2, and so we just had to get him and start diving into his story with everybody. So Andrew, as we've been talking, I kind of realized you're on a journey. To figure out ultimately the best guest experience, the best technology stack. There's so many words you could put to it. Talk about the journey you're on and your current thought process related to technology for your brand.
Yeah, I touched on it earlier when I was talking about we have already set a precedent. We're huge in social media, right? So we have already got a following of people that have never been into our restaurant, never eaten our food, and they have an expectation of what Shelby's is all about. And so for them to have that first visit into Shelby's, we need it to be so dynamic and inclusive and immersive for the guest that they don't walk away going, they are pretty good on social media, but they don't know what they're doing in the restaurant environment. So the idea is to see how we can relate to the guest in a way that allows them to walk away going, I want more of that.
What is Shelby's, for people who don't know Shelby's shawarma?
Shelby's legendary shawarma. So our recipes all come from our owner's mother. They're Palestinian. And we really try and stay true to the flavors, the Middle Eastern flavors, but we fusionize it. So we're making it a little more acceptable for anybody walking through the door. We do shawarma mac and cheese, we do shawarma burritos, shawarma biryani, shawarma tikka masala.
You're making me hungry.
Your normal shawarma sort of options that you have, right? So we also like to make fun of ourselves. So in our social media content,
how so?
Our character, our shawarma man character, and our Billy character sort of play off each other in that, we've got shawarma man who's that angry Middle Eastern guy that's running a restaurant and sort of is terrifying to anybody walking through the door. And
is he like the soup Nazi? I'm seeing the soup Nazi in my head.
That's so funny. That came to my mind too when he described
no shawarma for you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So
no ketchup.
The idea is that yes, we've sort of had a tagline that you can't put ketchup on shawarma. A bunch of other shawarma restaurants have decided to piggyback on that, and now this has become a thing where all shawarma restaurants are saying don't put ketchup on shawarma. And so our character, finds people that are putting ketchup on shawarma, and he usually smacks them with a slipper, or he chases them down the street, or something like that.
So there's not going to be a sponsorship coming from Heinz anytime soon?
No ketchup sponsorship.
Okay, just checking.
And the tagline is, instead of no soup for you, it is don't do that.
Don't do what?
That. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put ketchup on shawarma, don't do that.
So Andrew, I know a lot of people come to Murtec or shows in our industry looking for answers to problems they have. And I feel like talking to you that maybe you've come away with more questions than answers. Talk to us about kind of the tech goals you have and how you're wrestling with different variables or topics to ultimately get you where you want to go.
Yes, I'm very big on not knowing what I don't know. I think that is a big philosophy that I live by. And coming in here, I was like, okay, this is my goal. I'm going to target this thing. But as I have been sort of reanalyzing the way things are getting done here, I am unimpressed. I'm very unimpressed. So what I found is I see a lot of legacy software companies here that are like, hey, the new tag thing is AI. Let's shove some AI in the side pocket and call ourselves an AI company.
Has it become officially the most annoying acronym now?
It is definitely the most annoying thing, right? And so I was talking to a really, really cool, really innovative AI company called Gravy, based out of Toronto, Canada. And I said, what should I say to these AI companies? And they're like, tell them to prove it. Tell them to prove it. If they know what they're doing, tell them to prove it. And I'm not finding a lot of proof in the sort of pudding while I'm walking around here. The other thing that I'm seeing in the technology here is everybody's saying, hey, I've been asked by customers that even though I'm an inventory company, I should have scheduling. So they're like, hey, let's put a scheduling module in there, and now we're a whole new, cooler brand.
Sure.
And again, do you stay in your lane? Do you do what you do really well? Or do you try and make everybody happy?
The great all-in-one versus best-in-breed debate.
Well, it's the whole, how do I keep more the money inside my four walls as much as I can? And here's good enough for now. Like, that inventory was a great example. POS has inventory.
That's right.
The whole world knows, sorry POS, your inventory isn't that great, right?
Exactly.
Same thing, but they believe we have that so people don't go somewhere else with their business, right?
That's right.
But you argue that could hurt their business because they'll hate the inventory they have, and now the baby with the bathwater could happen too, right?
They're not using it.
Yeah.
They're not using it because it's rudimentary. It's not easy to use. Like, there's a bunch of reasons why that doesn't work. But the problem is what the end user wants is super easy. They want to see like 4 metrics in front of them, and they believe that if they're seeing those 4 metrics in front of them and they're maximizing those metrics, that they're in profitable business. And I think that's the wrong way to look at it. That end player shouldn't be dictating how you do your business. That end player should be a goal of yours, but the end player shouldn't be how you dictate your business. So I feel like, yes, do you stay in your lane and do it really, really well, and then figure out how your product could just utilize some of the data from another product instead of actually making that other product.
Well, Chad had a really strong statement at the very beginning of this. You have one of the most tech-forward restaurant brands, or did I want to say this correctly? How'd you say it?
I mean, I forget exactly how I said it, but he's very
This
innovative,
is a pretty big room to be in, right?
Absolutely.
And so what is it that has you so tech forward? What made Chad say that? Because he doesn't say a lot of things without meaning it.
Right. I think it's just, again, because I come from a restaurant background, I don't have limitations on what my wants are. Where I think in the tech world, everybody here is so techie that they're like, that's hard, or we can't do that, or I don't know. Or my legacy system is going to be a problem to fix that.
They're too close to it.
They're too close to it. Where I come in and I'm like, well, this is what I want. And they're like, well, I don't know if I can do that. And I'm like, but I still want it. Right? And so I think, making sure that you're keeping your baseline open. You're not saying, hey, I'm going to target myself down this lane. I do like the idea a lot of people are sort of gamifying things. So everybody's like, hey, well, let's gamify learning management. Yeah. But then I'm like, why can't we gamify everything?
Sure.
Why can't we gamify a kiosk? We were talking about that.
Yep.
So why can't I gamify a kiosk? Well, everybody's like, yeah, it's going to take too long, right? If you play a game, well, why can't I make the game 3 seconds?
Right.
And then I entice them to play the game longer by downloading my app. Right? So everybody said no, but now everybody's coming around going, I think we could probably make that work. But then they're like, well, I want that game to then give you a discount, and I want that discount to play out in real time. It's on the order that you're putting in the kiosk, turning into a game, 3-second game, getting my discount, applying to the order right now, not to my next order the next time I come in. I think if you're willing to think of the craziest thought and just not close your door to it off the beginning, then you have the opportunity to do it later. Maybe I don't do it now, but maybe I can do it later as long as I get the tech.
So specifically, what kind of things are you running in the business right now that support it? I mean, if POS is kind of a given, I don't know if you need to mention that, but what are all the other connecting parts of the business that equal the totality of your vision?
Yes, so we are certainly not where we want to be.
Nobody is.
We're at the beginning of the journey.
Yeah, exactly. We got our bags packed up.
Because we're expanding so fast, it's really taking a 180 turn and saying, hey, how are we going to break into new markets using technology in our environments? So obviously there's the online environment and the app environment, but once you're in the store, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so everybody's doing kiosks, but if you look at 90% of the kiosks around here, they're doing the exact same thing. The user interface is pretty good, but it's the exact same thing. Yeah. So how do we make it so that that's a unique experience for that guest? What else is going on in there? We have a standalone game that is in there that is also gamifying the experience, but it's while you're waiting for your order, now I can turn around and I can play this little game console while I'm there, and potentially that will then lead you into a discount or a promo, or potentially into getting an app or something like that.
Is that right in the line as I'm waiting to get my
Yeah,
food?
as
So
you're waiting
now
for your
it
food.
reduces abandonment,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Fabric stuffers at the theme park, same thing. Keep them entertained
That's right.
while they're waiting in line.
That's right.
Love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Other than that, we try and keep the environment dynamic by having our QR code that allows you to learn more about our brand. One of the things that Shelby's does is we try and look worldwide in helping people. Big philosophy, obviously a big Muslim philosophy, is to look after people that are less fortunate. And so Shelby's goes around. We're currently in Turkey providing food for less fortunate people. But we've gone to Kenya and other places in the world where we've gotten waters and wells in different communities so that we could help them. But letting people know that so that they can experience that while they're in our environments. So they can come in and feel like they're part of it.
It's awesome.
Right? So maybe have a screen, a kiosk where that's just for looking at what Shelby's does for the world, and maybe you can have your piece in there. Maybe you can log in and maybe do a $2 donation into that kiosk and maybe help somebody that's less fortunate. So really, I think those are the areas that we're focusing on now, but who knows?
Andrew, one of the things that also impressed me about you was that you're thinking 5 steps ahead with all of this. You're taking action, but you're also thinking long term. I know I want to get you back to the show and start meeting more of the companies here, but talk to the companies, right? You talking to the ecosystem of vendors and tell them what you need as an operator. How do you want them to think differently than they are now?
Yeah, so I think they need to think that same way, is instead of what I can do, it's what I can possibly do in the future, and then not limiting themselves now for that. And I think a lot of them are running into that now. They've built out legacy software that they're like, oh shit, it's going to be pretty tough for me to stick stuff in there. So how do I make this better? Do I start from base again and build it up?
For extensibility?
That's right. So I would say biggest thing is stick in your lane, do it really, really well, and keep everything available. Too many of these companies are being bought up by the big brother, right? They're getting bought up by the payment companies, and then sticking it to the end user or the guest in the worst way, which is, in that payment cost or that final process of getting that food or whatever you're selling, right? Yeah. So I think we gotta have the kiosk guys do kiosks really well. We gotta have the guys that do inventory really well, and then allow everybody to work with each other, talk to each other, not say, hey, I'm going to restrict you. Open up all APIs, make everybody feel comfortable in those environments. Don't charge for those things. Assume that because you're allowing this to be part of yours, it's only going to be better for you in the end, right? But I think that's not happening. Well, there's a lot of closed doors.
That's on point with our friends at RTN too, right? So RTN, Restaurant Technology Network, they promote standards around APIs and integrations that it feels like some folks are just holding it back. Like, you have to work with us, and it just feels like such a limit.
I agree.
Right? We want to, because there's so many other places to make money.
Yep.
It shouldn't be on connection, exchange of information, because that should be free.
Yeah.
We should be able to move our stuff between different systems without being burdened.
They're building a whole new market. They're building a new market of these tech companies that are saying, hey, what I'll do is I'll just bring all that technology together. Yep. I'll sidestep the barriers and I'll bring it together for you. So why are we having to create that whole other market? I don't want that other market. Yeah. I don't want that extra $30 or $50 or $70 a month franchisee fee so that I can bring it all in one platform.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Makes no sense. We're creating things that we don't need to create because of the barriers.
Some POS companies charge $100 per rooftop for API access. API.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Like insane.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Sorry guys, it's not good practice. Just gonna say it. So I'm a Marvel nerd.
Okay.
I actually had a very shawarma-related moment with my wife the day I left for Murtec. Yeah. I have a large wallpaper on my large monitor, and it's a Last Supper scene from the Bible, but in the middle is Tony Stark and all the Avengers on each side of him. Nice. And my wife goes, "What the heck is on his plate?" It's shawarma. Nice. It's a wrapped up silver foil, and she couldn't figure out what the hell it was. And I'd explained to her it was shawarma, which perfectly coincided with this.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And if you saw the Wolverine and the Deadpool movie.
Oh my
At
gosh.
the end of that, they're eating.
Oh yeah, well that was
That
because
scene is eating shawarma.
well
right?
that was all an end game. That was actually an ad hoc moment. It wasn't scripted. You know, Robert Downey Jr.'s like on the floor is like, we should just go get shawarma.
Yeah, I love
And
it.
that's lived echoed in eternity. Absolutely love it.
I love it.
Dude,
Hey,
where
you
are they going to see you next? Because one thing I always want to know is if people are interested in what they're hearing now, where do they find you digitally?
Yep.
Where can they meet you in person?
Yeah, so Shelby's Canada, we're all over social media.
Yep.
Really, who you want to be talking to is Shawarma Man. He is really the personality of Shelby's.
We want to meet you, Shawarma Man.
So you'll definitely be able to see our content online, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of the TikTok. Yeah, I think we should do another one of these, and you can see us on this.
Yeah, we'll do a real podcast when we get back.
Yep.
Are you going to be doing other trade shows this year we'd see at?
Yeah, we're back here in the next couple of weeks. We're coming to the multi-unit franchise conference.
Oh, we'll be here too for
We'll
that.
see you
we'll
there.
Have a booth. We'll have a booth for that one. So
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll
you can
definitely
definitely
come
come
by.
and talk to more of my team. All of my team are innovators. They all think outside the box. And I think it keeps us fresh. So a lot of
Absolutely.
different perspectives.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Hey, thank you so much. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate you spending
Thank
the
you.
time with
Andrew, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Andrew Kirkwood, everybody from Shelby's Canada.
Boom.
Thank you.
Murtec 2025.
To quote Tony Stark, can we get some shawarma now?
Nice.